So, the story is called, the name of the story is The Three Snake Leaves. The three snake leaves. So leaves are green. Leaves are on trees. Yeah. Leaf. Okay?
Leaves.
Yeah, leaves. Exactly. The three snake leaves. So, so snake leaves, strange. Okay? So they are the snake. The snake owns the leaves. Yeah? The leaves belong to the snake. Okay, so they are the snake's leaves. Yeah? Okay? So, once upon a time, there was a poor old man. Okay? Okay, so he was poor, no money, and old. Okay? And the poor old man had a son. Okay? And of course, the son had no money. So the son left home. The son left home. He left his house. Okay? And the son went to war. So he had a sword, he had a helmet, he had a shield, okay? He went to war. War like World War One, World War Two, okay? So war is fighting, big fighting, hundreds, thousands of people fighting, okay? So now, war is with guns, okay? Before, war was with swords and shields, okay? So a shield. So, the son and he looks like this. Okay. Not very beautiful.
Yeah.
So the son went to war. Okay? And the son fought very well. He fought very well. So the king the king was very happy because the son fought so well. Okay? So the king said, "You fought very well. You can marry my daughter." Okay? Okay, and the king's daughter, so the princess, she was beautiful. Yeah, she was a beautiful princess. Very, very pretty. And the man thought, wow, she is beautiful, and I can marry her. Yeah? We can get married. Okay? But the princess was very strange. Strange, weird, unusual, strange. Okay? Not normal. She was strange. So the princess said, "You can marry me, but if you die first, you must be buried alive with me." If you die first, so if you die before me, sorry, no, if I die first, if I die first, if I die before you, you must be buried alive. So bury is when you okay? Like you bury with, you dig and then you put, so you have a dead person, yeah? And you put them in the ground and then you, yeah? And you put a grave. Yeah? So you bury. That's buried.
Really?
But you will not be dead. No, you must be buried alive. Like buried alive. Okay? So if the princess died and the man lived, he would be buried alive with the princess. So if I die first, if I die before you, you must be buried alive with me. Very strange. Ooh,
Yeah.
Weird. But the princess was really beautiful. Like, really, really beautiful. Okay? And the man thought, well, I fought in the war. Yeah? I fought in the war. So, probably maybe like 80% chance, probably I will die first. Yeah? I will die before the princess. Okay? So the son said, yeah. And they got married. Okay? So they got married. The man and the princess, they were very, very happy. But one day, the beautiful princess,
Sick.
she got ill. She got ill, she got sick. Ill, sick.
Yes, same here.
She got ill. Okay? And she died.
Ooh. Ooh. Huh.
And the son, the man, oh, by the way, now he was, of course, the king. Yeah? And she was queen. So the queen got sick and died. And the new king was, oh no, I died first, so now I will be buried alive with her. But the young king, he made a promise. Yeah? So a promise is when you say, I will do this. I will absolutely do this. I swear. I promise. Okay? So he promised to be buried alive with her. Yeah? He said, I promise. So he had to. He did not have a choice. So the dead queen and the living king went into the mausoleum. Okay? So the mausoleum, a mausoleum is like a small house, okay, for dead people. You put the dead person in a mausoleum, okay? If you are very rich, you have a mausoleum, okay? So, in the mausoleum, there was a bed, okay, and okay, so the queen lay on the bed. She lay, like, on her back. Yeah, she lay on the bed. And there was a table, and the table had 4 loaves of bread. Okay? 4 loaves of bread. So a loaf of bread is like a big bit of bread that you cut up. Yeah? 4 loaves of bread and 4 bottles of wine. Okay, so this was wine. So the king sat in the mausoleum and he sat in the mausoleum, and every day he ate a bit of bread and he drank a bit of wine. Okay? So he lived in the mausoleum for maybe 4 weeks. Okay? 4 weeks he lived in the mausoleum. Okay? And slowly he ate all the bread and he drank all the wine. Okay? Oh, and the king had his sword. Okay? One day, so there was a small hole in the wall of the mausoleum. Okay? Also, outside the mausoleum, there was a guard. Okay? The guard had a sword as well. So the king said, if I go out, no, stop, push me in. Okay? So one day there was a hole in the mausoleum and out came a snake. Okay? And the snake crawled along the floor. So snakes crawl, yeah, on the floor. And the king thought the snake wanted to eat the queen. So the king cut the snake in 3. He cut it in 3. 1, 2, 3. He cut it in 3. Okay? with his sword. And then another snake came out, okay, of the hole. So the second snake saw the first snake, and the second snake had 3 leaves, okay, and it put 1 leaf on each part of the snake. So it put 1 leaf on each part. Because there were 1, 2, 3 parts of the snake. Okay, so it put the leaves on the snake, and then the snake's body went back together. Okay? So it wasn't, it was together. And the snake was alive. Okay? So, the 2 snakes left, they went into the hole, and the king took the 3 leaves. So the king took the 3 snake leaves. And the king thought, so the leaves brought the snake back to life. They brought the snake back to life. So the snake was dead, but with the 3 leaves, the snake was alive. So the king thought, and he put 1 leaf on each eye of the queen, and 1 leaf on the queen's mouth. Okay? And suddenly, the queen woke up. So the queen was alive. The 3 snake leaves brought her back to life. She was not dead. Okay? So the king, he was very happy. But the queen said, what happened? And the king said, you died, but then I used, but now you are alive. Yeah? You died, and now you are alive. And the queen said, you promised to be buried alive with me. You promised to be buried alive with me. So the queen was angry. She was not happy. Okay? But the king went to the door. He banged on the door. Okay? And he said, the queen is alive, the queen is alive. So the guard opened the door and they went out. But the king gave the 3 snake leaves to the guard. So sorry, this is the guard. Yeah? The king gave him the 3 snake leaves. And the king said, you never know when these will be useful. You never know when these leaves will be useful. Okay? So, one day these leaves will be useful. One day I will need the leaves. Okay, so he gave them to the guard. Okay, he said, please look, don't lose the leaves, keep the leaves. Okay? So, the king and the queen were alive, but the queen was not happy. Okay, she was sad every day. So one day, the king said, okay, let's go to your father. Yeah? The old king. The old king, the queen's father. Yeah? Let's go and visit him. Okay? Let's go and say hello. Okay? So, the old king lived far away. So they went on a ship. Okay? So they went on a ship. So a ship is a big boat, a very big boat. Okay? They went on a ship to the king. But on the ship, there was the captain. Okay? So the captain is like the king of the ship. Yeah? The captain moves the ship. The captain says, do this, do that. Okay? He's the head of the ship. So, the queen fell in love with the captain. So, she was in love and the captain was in love with her. Yeah? The queen and the captain fell in love on the ship. Okay? So one night, the king was sleeping. Okay? Yeah, he was sleeping on the ship. The queen and the captain took the king and into the sea. Okay, and the king drowned. The king drowned. So, drowned when you are in water and you you die in the water, okay? Because the water goes into your lungs. Okay, so the king drowned in the sea. But the guard saw the king, okay? And he heard the captain and the queen. Okay? The queen said to the captain, let's go to my father. We will say, okay? So we, me, the princess, and you, the captain, we will, future, we will say that the king got ill and died. Okay? And my father will marry us. He will marry us. So he will marry the captain and the queen. Okay? But the guard heard them. And the guard saw the king. So the guard took a rowing boat. So rowing is when you have a boat that you move, you use paddles and you row. Okay, so it's rowing. Yeah. Like in Oxford and Cambridge, rowing is a big sport. Okay, so the guards took the rowing boat and he went to the king. He pulled the king out of the water. He pulled him out and he put 2 snake leaves on his eyes and 1 snake leaf on his mouth. And the king woke up and the king he coughed up water. So cough like
Yes.
so he coughed up water, okay? Because he swallowed, he drank lots of the sea water, okay? But the king was alive, okay? And the guard told him the princess and the captain's plan, okay? He told him their plan. So the king, they were in there now, the king and the guard, they rowed really, really, really hard. They rowed hard, like, come on, okay? So the king and the guard got to the king before the captain and the princess, because they rowed very, very hard, okay? So the old king was on his... So kings have big chairs, yeah, like a big chair, called a throne. A throne. So the king's chair is very big, it's his throne. Yeah, so like the Queen of England has a throne, okay? So the old king sat in his throne, and the new king came, okay, and he knelt down. He knelt down and he explained the story, okay? He explained the snake leaves,
Yes.
he explained his wife, he explained the drowning, okay? He explained it all. And the old king was shocked. So the old king said, go behind that door, okay? Behind that door, okay? Next, so in the next room, they went and they hid behind the door. Hid, like hide, yeah, like hiding. Okay? So the king and the guard, they hid behind the door, and then the princess, or sorry, the queen and the captain came. Okay, the queen and the captain came. And the princess said, oh, sorry, not the princess, the queen. The queen said, oh, it is horrible, it is horrible. The king got ill and died, but I fell in love with the captain. Oh, it's horrible. Okay? She pretended to be very sad. And her father said, oh, the king is dead. And the queen said, yes, yes, he is dead. Oh. And the king said, well, let me bring the dead back to life. Let me bring the dead back to life. Okay, so I will bring the dead back to life. And the king clapped his hands. He clapped his hands, and the door opened. And the king and the guards came out and said, "Hello." And the queen, "Oh, you're not dead, you're alive." Ah! Okay? So the old king said, "You lied. You lied. You did not say the truth. You lied. You said the king got ill. He did not got ill. You lied to me, and I am your father." Okay, so the old king was not happy. So they put the queen and the captain on a boat. Okay, so the queen and the captain, they went on a boat. Okay, but the boat was full of holes. Was full of holes. Okay, so the boat sank. The boat sank. It went into the sea. Yeah, the boat sank, and the queen and the captain drowned. And then the king burned the snake leaves. He burned the snake leaves. Okay? So the snake leaves were gone. Just burned up. The end.